Hello, hello, hello. I just watched a meditation video by Whitley Strieber. He is a very, very world famous writer of fiction and in the field of UFO, aliens, and science fiction. And he is amazing, and he's very real, very much. He's very, very down to earth, and even though the subject that they discuss is not down to earth literally, I mean, it is out in the infinite cosmos, but he as a person is very, very grounded and very real and very genuine and very generous with his emotions, with his energy, very giving of love and sharing with the world his deepest feelings for his wife and the grief and the contact he has with her, the telepathic contact. And it is that's amazing, and it's courageous, very courageous, because most people, even if they did encounter something that, which is it's very rare to encounter that, I would think, but maybe it's not so rare, I don't know, but most people would never talk about this, so I think it's rare, and it might happen to someone who is in a society where these kind of things are taboo, and they would never talk about this. So, but Whitley, as I can see, has always been open to those other worlds and other dimensions. This is a putty that I just pulled out of one of those jars. It is a squishy putty, but it has consolidated itself now. And this is exactly, I don't know if this comes out in the video, but this is exactly that color. That is exactly the color of those green men, the little green men that my grandmother was talking about. Even though she didn't show me the color when I was 13, my grandmother was dying and she was going in and out of consciousness and constantly in the hospital. And last time my brother and I saw her was when I was 13, my brother was 8, and it was 1978. And she was placed in the living room for the hospital staff to come and get her easier. So she was placed in the living room downstairs on a couch. That's where she was also sleeping, and they had to take care of her. She could not even get up anymore. She couldn't stand up anymore, and it was a difficult, very difficult phase. My brother and I, we were very sad and worried for her, but at the same time we didn't really realize what was going on. But they told us, come and sit with her. She needs you to sit with her. And so we brought chairs and we sat by her couch. And she was consciously not very coherent and drifting away. And at some point she came back into consciousness, and she reported that she had seen little green men, and very bright green light that was coming out from under a hospital door. And I was wondering, what could she mean? And somewhere inside of me, I had already read some parapsychology books. I started that at age 10 or so. Age 10 or 11, I started reading my dad's parapsychology books. He has a whole library of those. But he didn't have any, I didn't see anything particularly on extraterrestrials. So, but we've heard about extraterrestrials. It was, at that time, it was on the news all the time, and there were even BBC even reported a UFO having landed somewhere in one of the Eastern European countries, somewhere out where it's not very populated, and people have seen aliens of different sizes come out of that craft. So, and that was reported, and I remember I was very excited about that. We were in Portugal on a vacation. I was like 10 years old, and I was very excited about it. So I had already been hearing about this, but I didn't know very many details. I didn't know that they were necessarily green in color, and then later on I heard people report different colors, gray also, and white, and blue, and silver. So, but when my grandmother reported about the little green men, I had this exact color in mind. And also this exact texture too. Exactly the way this feels, very soft and rubbery, and a little moist. There's still some water in it, so it's a putty. So that is exactly how I envisioned. I hope this shows. This is the color I envisioned. When my mother talked about the little green man, it seems to show a little bit paler in the video than it actually is. But it doesn't matter. So that's how I envisioned the little green man to look like, with the skin like this, and no hair, and just like a little bit moist, squishy, rubbery type of silicone type of skin, and in this exact color. So Whitley made a meditation video, and that inspired me to do a very brief meditation. Now I talked most of the time now about the little green man, but I want to make a couple of minutes meditation video on boosting our immune system. Wim Hof, the Iceman, talks about mind over matter, on meditation, about immunizing your body. He has done that. He's done that in front of cameras in hospitals. They injected him with poison, and he was able to flush those poisons out without any negative side effects at all. He started to sweat a lot, but he was very focused on this meditation. You have to do a lot of breathing, strong breathing, deep. This is really the key in meditation, to not forget the breathing. So particularly when we have fear, we tend to have shallow breathing. I have noticed that many times in my own life. So the more I got into all these amazing people and what they have said and what they have written, Jiddu Krishnamurti, Thich Nhat Hanh, Pema Chodron, all of these people that are talking about breathing, and Sadhguru is great. So many amazing people that are talking about this. Tony Robbins talks about it. So the incredible importance of calm, slow, and deep breathing through the entire abdominal area, all the way into the very depths of your lungs. So when you breathe in, hold your breath for just a couple of seconds, and then gradually breathe out, and envision your body having infinite intelligence, which is, it does, it has infinite intelligence. In our daily lives, we are burdened with toxins, stressful energies from other people, fear-mongering, all kinds of things, market perpetuations, corporate fear-mongering. They do that to keep their customers. We need to become more alert about all of this, not buy into a lot of the fear-mongering. So we need to, and they also, that's one thing they always do, they keep people feeling insignificant, and they keep people feeling helpless. And that's also in psychology, this is called learned helplessness, and the corporate agenda uses this to keep their customers for various things, you know, so including war and military and all of this. So we need to keep this in mind and question more and say, oh, what do I really want? Do I want peace? You know, do I want, in times of war or in times of crisis or in times of civil unrest or in times of a virus outbreak? You know, what do I want? What do I really want? You know, whether we have a year left or several years or a couple of months, you know, it doesn't matter. What do I want to make out of that time that I have left here in this body that I'm in this infinitely powerful, precious vessel that carries me through life, you know? So what do I want to make with this? You know, we're like in front of a white canvas, and we have a panel of rainbow colors that we can use, any kind of color and shade in between, and pastels. I like the pastels, the pastel tones, love it. And I work with pastels, as you can see. So when I was a child, I painted pastel colored ghosts, and I made those with paper mache, and then I painted them with this color of my fingernails. I love it. So breathe in, envision that you have infinite immunity. Your body's infinitely powerful and infinitely immune. And do that for an hour, okay? And do that every day. And you'll be amazed what that does. Okay, you guys take care. Bye-bye.